Oh, now they can. Okay, very good. So, Tere, which is very much like hello. My name is Christian. I have some Estonian blood in my veins, so I'm very happy to be here. My grandfather was born in Tartu, so I will tell my mother afterwards I've been here today, and she will be happy. So, as already said, I'm working for a German company called Ströer. The company is only operating in Germany, so you might not be aware of it. And what we do is we put ads everywhere, very simple, little bit old-fashioned business. However, we have 15,000 staff, and we're making 1.6 billion revenues every year. We have integrated more than 100 startups into our company. So we are not that lazy as you might think. And well, what we are is very much what the Germans would call Mittelstand, right? So many German companies are that kind of size and that kind of company. Germans are right now a little bit shaken, I would even say maybe a little bit scared, because things around us in the world seem to have a different speed and a different pace than we ourselves. Our Chancellor, Mrs. Merkel, who you see behind me, is using this famous gesture, and whenever she does it, she afterwards starts talking about stability. People from the internet scene would start talking about legacy. However, so what makes us feel being so insecure and being a little bit slower than the rest of the world? Well, here you see a very complex slide, and don't try to read the whole slide, right? But what it tells you is the difference between how much money does a country have per person on the x-axis and how fast on the y-axis does it perform in innovation. And the size of the bulbs tells you how big is the economy. So when you are above the line, you're doing pretty well. When you're below the line, you're doing pretty bad. And you see Estonia is doing pretty well, by the way. It's a small bulb on the upper right corner. Germany is somewhere in the big mixture of bubbly water, and it's gray, so it's not doing very well. And even India and China and so-called third world countries are doing much better in innovation. So innovation is slow, and that's why Germans are a bit scared. In Estonia, Mittelstand actually does not drive the economy, right? The economy is driven by people like you guys, so by entrepreneurs and by startups. And there is a whole lot of startups, know-how in every possible field. And actually, being a German company, it sounds like a pretty good match. Startups generate concepts and ideas, and they are fast. And company groups, like the company where I come from, have the capital, significance on the market, and as I said, certainly a need for change. However, still, it's a huge challenge, obviously, for agile startups to cooperate with German company groups. And why is that? Because that is pretty much like dancing salsa with an elephant. If you're trying to dance salsa with an elephant, you're going to end up very much with what you see behind me, and it's not just going to work like that. So, however, elephants and German or European company groups have a lot in common. Both are large, both are strong, both have a good life expectancy, which, by the way, in return, makes them also slow and comfortable. And the pleasure of dancing salsa and the way startups work and startups succeed have lots in common. Salsa, as some of you might know, stands for quick movements, rhythm, joy of life. It's sweaty, it's fun, and of course, it's also sexy. And startups have to act just like this, quick and sexy and sweaty. So you're brave, agile, sometimes you just wing it, and you rarely follow any predefined protocol, and you work on sustaining a culture and environment in which working is fun and agility is key of what you're doing. That means moving a German company group away from planning security, from traditional way to do the business, and merging with the world of startup is something that requires a well-thought-out strategy. And that's very important when you're a startup. Without a clear strategy on that, just rolling into a German company group and trying to get some money which is somewhere on the street, you will certainly suffer and you will probably even fail, which is bad for any of both parties. It's very much like you want to teach salsa to an elephant. It's not easy, certainly not, but if you succeed, you have done something big, something good and very honorable. Still don't forget, please, elephants are large, strong, and steady, and all that does not make them a good salsa dancer at all by nature. But on the other side, an elephant is sensitive, highly intelligent, and he's able to learn. So when you do that, it all starts with a very good invitation. At first, you need to acquire a feeling for salsa itself, and you need to understand in which way you need to move the elephant. Those of you who know how to dance salsa know that salsa is not about techniques and procedures that you follow up. It's very much about having a feeling, having a good gut feeling, and knowing how to move at the right moment. So when asking for a salsa, you need to consider a few things, just more or less like when you're inviting a beautiful, spirited woman to a dance. And you know the first moments are the moment of truth. So there are 4 straight rules that will make it work at the end. The first one is you need to spark enthusiasm. So you can't spark enthusiasm which isn't already there. But in a changing world, German elephants tend to be open for changes because, as I said in the very beginning, we are feeling that the world is changing and we are not changing fast enough. You have to erase the fear of embarrassment. In order to spark enthusiasm in a German elephant, you need to choose an approach that is integral. That means that every last part of the elephant needs to be excited for the idea of dancing salsa. If you just win the elephant's toe for the salsa, it will not help you to get the elephant moved at all. And when not only the head, but also the trunk, the legs, the tail, the ears and eyes are infected with enthusiasm, then the foundation is set to propel things forward dynamically. And if only the elephant's head is burning for the project, then other parts will most likely cause the attempt to fail. So when you're just talking to the head, it will not work because the other parts are not moving with you. That's very important. Don't overestimate the power of control that lies within a German elephant's head only. So for the activation of all important parts and all stakeholders, there was a very simple guideline. You have to convert affected into involved. Second rule, you need to be friendly. Being friendly means to pose the invitation to dance in a well-thought-out, polite, and not at all arrogant way. You Estonians have a big advantage. You're pretty good in that. Right? Some people from countries more southern-oriented are not so good in playing the game this way. So the elephant needs to be addressed in an appropriate and in a friendly manner, and you need to find the right way to display knowledge without putting yourself in the spotlight. Rule number 3 is the most important one. It's very much about being patient. Being patient includes, even as a startup, never give up, even when facing rejection. And that will certainly come from the very beginning because, as I said, elephants are no salsa dancers by nature. So even when it seems impossible to move the elephant at first, don't lose hope. Maybe you need to save your power for another day. And remember, don't ask too many elephants at once, because the chances are they know each other, they live in herds, they walk vast distance, and elephants never forget. So you will find out they are much better in communicating than you are. So choose your dancing partner very well. And even during the dance itself, you need to be very patient, right? The initial enthusiasm may fade quickly, and it needs to be revived several times. As you know, many elephants are afraid of change, so they are always thinking long-term, and that's very important. Rule number 4 is about adjusting to each other. So if the dance is finally about to happen, preparation is crucial. You need to know your companion's desires, you need to adjust to them. You must not make the elephant feel like you are exposing him and like you are much better in dancing salsa than he is. And unless you adjust to the rhythm of the elephant, the dance might be over very quickly. So if you do all this, then finally you end up dancing on eye level with the elephant. And then your proposal might be on, say, golden, fruitful ground. As soon as you understand these rules, you're ready to dance, and you shouldn't try, of course, to turn the elephant into a prima ballerina. It's just not going to work like this, so the elephant will never leave its skin. If everything goes right, then the dance can turn out to be a successful project and long-lasting partnership, because, as I said, elephants are very loyal animals, so it will pay off on the long term. So what you see is that dancing salsa with elephants is actually entirely possible. Just act with confidence. Elephants are not as difficult to handle as you might think, and keep in mind you need to be in love with success and not with failure. So what is next? Just a short remark on this. We have, of course, thought about a dancing school, and some entrepreneurs from Hamburg have created this dancing school. And we really like it, so we want to invite you to join that and to get in touch with the guys. They will be here around, and or just ask me. This is called jumpboard.org. It's innovation as a service concept, so there are several partners from several innovation hubs in Germany, in Estonia, and finally also in Israel. And they form competence triangles, or competence centers, you would say. So you have these competence centers for a lot of several areas, all that you are aware of: blockchain, AI, big data, all that kind of bullshit bingo we have played for the last couple of years. And all these solution centers are a kind of solution ecosystem, and they are building the supply, all the opportunities. And on the other side, on this platform, we're going to have the demand side. And the demand, for instance, could be, let's say, a solution for a smart city, which might be brought in by some German cities. And in order to find that, you would want to combine the ecosystem of geodata and sensors, and then you create a solution. And that solution is then put onto a platform that we call Jumpboard, where all the solutions can be interconnected. So it's like an innovation ecosystem, right? It's rather simple. And please, if you want to know more information, it's free of charge. So you log in, you register yourself, and you can find out how their demand is, and you can show your supply on that and try to get involved into dancing with the elephants. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day.